Hey everyone, it's Vanessa Ray, and I am officially starting my Q&A with VRae or VRae Q A. I'm not sure yet. So I was affectionately given that nickname this year by a group of amazing ladies that I'm in a mastermind with. Everyone started calling me VRae, and I think I'm gonna take it and run. So one of the things that I'm making available to this group is you can ask me questions in the group, or ask other ladies questions too. This is a a group. But if you ask a question and I can answer it and help you, I'm going to. And I think for purposes of serving the most people, what I'll do is I won't mention you, but I will speak to either your question or what you talked about. You can also DM me or post in the group. Can you talk more about this, or tell me what is your philosophy on this, or how would you do this or that? So just kind of making it more of a place where you can start a discussion, ask a question. Again, especially if you want it to be anonymous, if it's more personal or something, just DM me and say, talk about this. I'm not ever going to say your names or anything. So, but I like doing it this way because then we're all dealing with, versions of the same stuff in here. So this way it will just help other people. So this first topic came up in the group, and there was so much juiciness there that I'm just going to take it in little pieces and probably do a multi video answer. So one of the first things I'm going to address in this question that the beautiful lady brought up is something to the effect of, I should just be happy in my body no matter what weight, right? Question mark. I should love myself no matter what, right? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So shoulds, me. I normally am not a shoulder, but yes, ideally, that is our goal, is to be unconditionally loving, right? Like love's highest form is unconditionality, right? It means full forgiveness, full acceptance. That's what unconditional means, right? And that's what, whether you're religious or spiritual or whatever, even if you're agnostic or atheist, unconditional love, imagine this perfect love. And if there is this being, or if there are many beings or whatever that loves us unconditionally, it is our human job to attempt to access that, right? Attempt to be able to give that and receive that when we can, the most we can. That's what we're here to do, right? So should you love yourself at every weight? Yes. Yes, you should. There, I shoulded. And I gave you the impossible, do you love yourself all the time? No, but you want to, right? So unconditional love is also different than something that is very conditional, that you have preferences in. So yes, I can say that I love myself at every weight, speaking from one perspective, the higher perspective consciousness of my highest self loves myself all the time. It doesn't mean I, as the human Vanessa, always feel that way. It doesn't mean that I always act that way. It doesn't mean that I always treat myself that way. And it doesn't mean that I'm just as happy in a certain body as I am in a different version of that body. So I'm a human, you're a human, you have preferences. You are going to feel better, lighter, or better, heavier, or better, stronger, or better, we're going to have preferences. So part of that question, yes, you should always love yourself. Is it easy to do? Hell no. So, that's the spiritual part. That's why I call this and I approach this as a spiritual process, because it will take you every day for the rest of your life committing to loving yourself, to grow that practice of fully loving yourself. That's a lifelong practice. I mean, I love my daughter all the time, constantly, but am I always speaking out of love? No, sometimes I mess up. Am I always acting in love? Am I always present to my love of her? No, because I'm imperfect. And she's my biggest loving lesson. She is my biggest spiritual teacher, because she is the one I love the most. And she's the one I care to learn how to love the most for. So I practice it the most with her. But if you have kids, this is a great way to think of it. You love them all the time, but are you always, does the tone of your voice, does every single thing you say, do you always get it right? No. So same with your body. I always love my body, but I certainly don't always appreciate it. I certainly don't always eat like I love it. I certainly don't always say the kindest thing. Okay, that's the spiritual part. The human part, the next part is you have preferences. It's okay to say, I prefer a lighter body. I prefer spicier food. I prefer the way I feel when I don't overeat. I do. There's nothing wrong with that. My love for myself is ideally unconditional, but my body is conditional. Your body is conditional. You eat too much food, you get a tummy ache. You eat too much fried food, you might throw up. You eat too much, whatever. You don't eat enough food, you're going to die, right? Your body is a condition. This is a condition we're in. We're a spirit having a condition. Our body is a condition. The condition is it doesn't last. The condition is you're going to die. The condition is it's going to decompose. Decompose? Yeah, I said it right. So you're experiencing a condition as an unconditional spirit. So you are going to have conditions like preferences, like preferring to be lighter, which is why I offer weight loss in the first place. Is some of us would have a better spiritual experience here and a better human experience here if our bodies were lighter. That's okay. Now getting to, sorry, my nosy itches, getting to how we can love ourselves and make choices about our condition. So this person asked, I should love myself at every weight. Okay, yes. That doesn't mean you don't have the choice and you don't choose and have the preference of being lighter. So to get into her question in more detail, she's saying that she's heavier than she feels comfortable, but she's getting support. Her partner finds her attractive. So it can start to get complicated. This is what happens in our life, right? It starts to get complicated. I want to be lighter, but I also feel conflicted. So first of all, I'm assuming your partner loves you no matter what, and you love you no matter what. Now, the only thing at question here is, how do you prefer to be in your own body, assuming you're being loving in that choice? The love is not an option. The weight's the option. Now, if you get to enjoy your life more in a lighter body, which is what I personally am working on and here for, I'm making sure that I'm choosing it out of love. If you want to lose the weight because you don't love yourself, then the fundamental piece that's missing, gain weight, lose weight, whatever, that part's the part that matters least. The part that matters more is what's behind it, which is I'm either loving myself or I'm denying love to myself. So that's why I do this as a spiritual process, because you're beautiful and loving and lovable and worthy exactly as you are. You're beautiful, whether you're overweight or underweight. However, you need to know that. You need to work on that and grow that and cultivate that and continue that practice. And you also get to choose what your body looks and feels like. We're going to start with that.